morning everyone. How are we this morning? Thursday morning in our regular time slot. And you know what, I've realized that I forget to introduce myself every single time. I figure that you guys are on my page, you know who I am, but if you're just watching me for the first time, my name is Alisa Tilsner and I'm a demonstrator here in South Australia, out in the sticks, out in Port Lincoln, South Australia. So welcome. And we generally just make cards on a Thursday morning. Hello everyone coming in. I'm just gonna check out make sure everything's working on my other end. And hey Vicky, how you going? Everyone's starting to come in. Now I've drawn my prize for last week, which is the mini pine cones. So Jenny Turnbull, you have won them and I will get them in the mail for you. I already have your address. So that's easy. That's an easy one to do. Good morning Karen. Good morning Tracy. How is everyone going? Oh, what's going on with my screen there? Is something weird going on my screen? On your screen? Hi Anne. Oh, I don't know whether my laptop's having a freak out or what the story is. Maybe I'll just refresh my page again. So we are going to be making another watercolor card because, you know, I love watercoloring, the look of watercoloring. And was it 2 weeks ago now? We made one with the window sheet and you scribble on the window sheet. Good morning, Carrie. We scribble on the window sheet and then we put that down on our paper. Well, this technique is similar, but I think it gives a better look. So I did see somebody who had done it. She'd used the markers. I'm not going to use markers. I'm going to use my actual ink pads. So it'll probably give a slightly different look to what she had as well. Okay, good morning Sharon. Everyone's coming in, yay! Okay, so my prize for this week is a packet of rhinestones because we all need bling in our lives, don't we? So, and all you have to do, this is my giveaway for the week, and all you have to do is make a comment and then I've got a handy little program that then goes and selects one comment out of all of them and draws the winner for me, so I don't have to think, oh, who will I pick? It does it automatically for me. And you can chat as much as you want because every time you make a comment it'll go into the draw that'll get picked. So that's really cool. Yes, everyone needs rhinestones and you know you go through them a lot. So, and everyone loves to have bling. So we want to be generous with our bling on our cards because it's so pretty. Okay, shall we get swung around and get straight into it? I think we shall because, you know, I'm not much of a chit-chatter. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? Let me swing us around. Here we go. See all my junk. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can get the full effect of what I'm doing. Just going to shift my little laptop out of the way and move this over. Okay, now I've done a little bit already, a little bit of my stuff. Now I'm not going to make the full card today. I'm just going to show you the technique because it gets quite messy and I know that I will get ink all over my white card, which I'm sure that my dear friend Chris Addison would just be hanging out to see, but she saw me do it yesterday at class, so I'm not going to make the full card, we're just going to do the technique. Okay, so I have I've actually embossed first, so I've embossed on with white. I'm just going to stand up so you guys can see, and I've used the Flurry of Wishes stamp set, which is still in the main catalogue. Okay, so I'm going to show you the same technique but in two different ways. Okay, so okay, now I can sit down. Good. Okay, so what I've done is just stamped and embossed in white on watercolor paper. Okay, so this is watercolor paper, and I will be using an aqua painter, and I will be using Bermuda Bay and a little bit of Night of Navy and also a Ziplock bag. Okay, so this is in place of the clear acetate, the window sheet that we used that last time. Okay, so this is going to, it gives a absolutely completely different look than what the other one does. And the other one, remember I scribbled onto the acetate and then I spritzed the acetate. Well, this one you actually put down water on. I'm just going to make sure I've got clear water in there because we were mucking around yesterday with it. You put colour on your card first. So you need to, first of all, put a couple of drops of water down, and you know the rule with the water and the watercolour paper, wherever you put water on your watercolour paper is where the ink will spread. So I want it to come from the top, but I don't want it to go all the way down to the bottom, so I'm not going to put water down the bottom edges or anything like that. Okay, just pop that aside. Then with your Ziplock bag and my Bermuda Bay ink, I'm just going to touch that onto the plastic bag, and you can see that it's put colour on there. Now that's not going to dry on there because it's on plastic, so you can take your time. You can do that first if you wanted to and get your water happening. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and then the next part is we just want to lie, now because I've got, you know, glad snap things written all over it, it's a bit tricky to see, but we just want to put that on there. And what I did then is just sort of moved my bag around and smushed it on there. And I bet you anything that, you know, I did it once the other day and it turned out beautifully, and I bet you I won't be so lucky today. And what I'm doing is where my embossed bits are, I'm really like gushing my, is that a word? Gushing? I'm gushing my plastic bag into it, and I'm just going to sort of like filter that down at the bottom. I want a little bit, but not too much. Okay, and it makes a glorious mess, and I'm wearing my white Stampin' Up t-shirt, so I hope I'm not splattering it all over myself. But you've got mess all around the edges, and you've got mess everywhere, and you've got mess on your fingers. So you just need to go and clean all that up. So if you don't want messy fingers, you know, perhaps wear gloves or something. I don't mind the messy finger look. I don't mind having ink all over me. Okay, so that is what I've got first. Okay, and then I'm going to come in a second time with my Night of Navy. Okay, but I don't want to put so much of it on. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of Night of Navy down there because it's quite dark. And then again, I'm just going to put water where I want my Night of Navy to be. So I'm just going to sort of, I just want it in the middle-ish and spread it around that area. Okay. And then again with my Ziploc bag, I just want to go a little bit more gently this time because I just sort of, I want it to be in certain areas. So instead of just gushing it in, I'm sort of picking it up and plonking it down where I want it to be. And when it dries, it's pretty awesome. I'm just going to leave that dry for a moment because then I'm going to do it again. And it'll probably, I mean, each time you do this is going to turn out so different. Good morning, Kim. Gushing is a word? Excellent. Yeah, it's such a pretty, and I think, you know, you can pick it up and you can get those colours to bleed into each other. And so I think, you know, I've tried so many different techniques of getting that watercolored look, but I really, really like this technique. So just sort of keep pushing it down, and so that is one on top of the other. I'll just clean this up. My first one turned out beautifully. I'm sure this will too. I might even go, let me just let that dry for a moment. Good morning, Rita and Lyndall and Cheryl. It's like looking in the, what was that mirror that, what's her name had from Romper Room? She had that special mirror that she could see everybody. Okay, I'm just going to pop a tiny bit more down. Hey, Tanya. Now, another way that you could do it, which is what we did yesterday, is to actually open it up and put your fingers inside the bag and then just tap in the areas that you want as well. So, but I think I'm going to leave it at that because otherwise it will become a little bit too deep in colour for me. Magic mirror. That's the one. And who knows the song that everyone used to sing at the end? I still do. Okay, so that's our first one, and then you set that aside. Dare I touch the card that I've already finished? There's no way for me to cover up something that I've already done. Okay, so now you would have had a sneak peek of this on my blog already. So this is the card that, this is how it dries. Okay, so it's really quite vibrant in blue here still, but it sort of dries in together and becomes a little bit muted. So it's really, really pretty. I'm going to hold it up really close because I just love how that has dropped and spread into each other. You can actually use your aqua painter to come in and, oh, I already got the lid off, you silly girl. You can like spread bits around, you know, if they haven't blended, or if you want to pop a drop of water in there, you can do that too, and that'll give different looks as well. So, oh, I don't want to muck my card up. So that's how that's turned out. And this one is actually going to be my Christmas stamper stack for this month. Yes, Christmas stamper stacks. And I looked up on my blog because I got tags for each of them, and I've been doing Christmas stamper stacks since 2011. Oh my goodness, I knew it was a while, but I didn't realize it was that long. And the idea behind doing my Christmas stamper stacks is, one year, it must have been 2010, I sent out 0 cards, nothing. And I was, you know, disgusted with myself. Here we are, card makers, and I didn't send out any Christmas cards whatsoever. So I decided that every month of the year, like January, February, all the way through down to probably November, we would do a stamper stack, 10 cards each month. And so that way, by the end of the year, you would have all of your cards already made. All you have to do is write in them, envelope them up, and put them in the post. So that's my theory, and I missed out on January and February this month, so we're starting in March, and that is our first project for March. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside to dry. They don't usually take too long to dry. You know, I didn't even leave mine overnight. I just put mine together pretty quick, but I'm going to put that one aside to dry. I'll put it behind me because I want to show you the second one that we did, which was, it was a circle, and I used the new Make a Medallion stamp set, which is from the second release of, yeah, maybe I should get some ink, some alcohol wipes or something. So this is from the second release of the Celebration items for the, because there's only 1 month left. Luckily, March is a long month. I think there's 5 weeks in March, in this March. So, so you've got a couple of weeks left to get that one, and you'll want to now, because after you see this. So I want to do 2 tones, okay? I want to do, and because I love the way that these 2 colours blend together, I'll be coming back to these 2. So, because it's just so pretty. Okay, so I need my bag, I need my water painter. I'm just going to make sure that that is running clear because I don't want to ruin my colours. Now, when I did the last one, I had the example on my page as well, and I cut it out with the stitched shapes framelits and did a little bit more stamping. But again, I've just embossed it on watercolor paper with white, and all I'm going to do is just colour, put some ink, water ink, water down on the first part of it. Like, don't put water down everywhere, just going to put it down in that general area there. Certainly celery. Oops, I've lost track, Tanya. I'm not sure what you meant. Did I say something wrong? Okay, so Bermuda Bay, I'm just going to turn it around so that the water area is towards me. And again, I'm just going to gush that down, but taking care to only sort of go where my water has been. Okay, so gushed down nicely, pushed in nicely, and then I'm just going to wipe that off. And I'm just going to let it dry for a moment, just so that the area along here isn't too wet, because when you add the next colour, oh, what's under this? This is a really old Tim Holtz, sorry, let me answer one question first, because otherwise I'll get distracted. Underneath me is an old Tim Holtz Teflon craft sheet, but it is exactly the same stuff that you put on your barbecue. You know those barbecue liners that you can find in the barbecue section of the supermarket? I think they're black though. Same thing. Mine's really old. It was given to me, so it's really, really old. And the next question are the colours that I'm reading on the ink pad. I've got Bermuda Bay and Crushed Curry. So they're the two colours that I'm using. Okay, now that's dried a little bit, I'm going to come around and put some more water down and just go a little bit up where I've, just to meet that second colour. And then I'll be putting some crushed curry down. Now this is where you sort of do need to take a bit of care, and where the two colours meet is you're going to get green, and it looks like a yucky green to start with, but it will dry quite nice. I'm just going really gently. I don't want to blend too much at the moment. Okay, so I'll try and keep them a little bit separated, and then I can come in. See how that green there doesn't look like it's the prettiest of greens, but it actually dries not too bad. Okay, so, and you might need to pop a little bit more water and sort of spread them into each other. I did go backwards and forwards with this one a bit when I was doing it, just to try and get that nice green happening and blending, you know, one into the other. So then, now this does get a little bit backwards and forwards and all that sort of stuff, but I'll just want to clean up all that because I don't want to contaminate my colours too much. But I came in again with, okay, so you can get them from the reject shops as well, your dollar stores. Cool. I just want to put on a bit more Bermuda Bay, and I'm just going to pop in whoops, make sure you run your thing, otherwise you'll contaminate your. I just want to pop in a little bit more water and spush on a bit more Bermuda Bay, and I will try this time and try and get some more of that green happening so that it's not such a drastic line going through there. See how it's got that line? I just want to alleviate some of that. And I sort of went backwards and forwards because when that's going to turn out real pretty now. I've noticed, because we played with these yesterday, I've noticed that if the yellow into the blue doesn't make the prettiest of greens, but, I might just stand up so I can see where you guys are looking, but putting the blue into the yellow makes a better looking green. Okay? So even, I mean, I should try it one day. I should put the yellow down first and then put the blue in. But it seems to make a much nicer looking. It's not that muddy green. It's a real nice bright, almost like the crushed cucumber, but not as harsh on your eyes. So that is going to turn out real pretty. Okay, so the cards that I've made with them, because I'm not going to make full cards, and I just wanted them to dry a smidge as well. I just clean up my mess and I'll show you the cards that we made yesterday and that I made the other day. Okay, so that's real pretty. Okay, and I'm just going to flip that over as well. Okay, let's see how much of my cards I'm going to muck up. Okay. Oh, hang on a moment. Oh no, I'll show you that afterwards. I get myself all over the place. So this is the medallion that I had on my. I just had the little snippet of it because I was so happy with the way that it turned out. That it was so pretty. So I've embossed the thanks in the center of the medallion, and then I also used there's a little stamp, and I stamped around all the edges of that to really fill it out. And so that one's just the plain medallion, and that one's just extended a little bit. Let me just bring that down so you can see it properly. There you go. So they're going to dry lovely. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so we did that one, and then I did that one at home, and then when we were at Lincoln Learn yesterday, we remade some. So we stamped the backs of our envelopes just for something a little bit pretty. And so it's the same concept, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool just to stamp a sentiment and on black, and because I've got the black sequins on there, I thought that would be really cool. Now you can see here what I mean about how the green hasn't dried as bright as what it will here, and I think it's because I didn't go back in with the blue on top of the yellow. I think that's definitely the way to do that, to get that really nice bright green going on. So we did that one, and then we did this one, and I had to put a sequin down the bottom because I managed to get pink all over my card. So there's the back of the envelope again. Yep, I managed to get pink down here, cover it up with an embellishment. So this one was rose red into the crushed curry, and that sort of blended and made sort of that like orangey stuff going on in the middle. So it has actually somebody come over to our table and asked whether we were doing tie-dyeing, so on our cards. So they're really quite pretty. So that's that one. And then the other day, when I was also making the fuller Christmas card one, I did the same layout with the medallions in the background. And this one, I've used 3 colours using the same style that I did for the Christmas card. But I put down, okay, I did Flirty Flamingo first, and then I put down Rich Razzleberry, and it still didn't have enough like oomph to it, so I then went and put a tiny bit of Elegant Eggplant on top as well, and that's just the same layout as the Christmas card. So I think that one turned out not too bad as well, but I really loved that first Christmas card that I did. That just, to me, that's just like it in a bit. Yeah, whoops, my things. Yeah, so that one's just turned out, it was almost like a little galaxy going on in the background with all the snowflakes. So they are my cards. Let's bring this one back in and see how it's drying. So by the time you've got all your bits and pieces on there, you know, it'll look really quite pretty. So that's them, and that's it for our class. It's a short one this week. So don't forget, I'll bring in this again. So my gift this week, my giveaway, is the rhinestones, because you can never have so much bling bling. And so I will draw this one next week before our next live class. I think I've got an idea of what I want to do for our next live class already, so I just have to, which is amazing because normally I have no idea of what I want to make, but I have got some ideas floating around in my head already. So there we go, there's the technique. So I'm not making any full cards, but I think you guys have seen what you can do with them. So have a play with them, get nice and messy and inky, play around with your colour combinations. I'd love to see some other colour combos. Purples, you know, I think if you stick to a monochrome type of purple, it will probably be really pretty. Greens, monotone greens would probably look really nice as well. So if you do have a play, come back and show me what you make, because I love seeing some of the cards that you guys come up with as well, and you know, share them on my page here, or message them to me, however you like to do it. So just love to see them. So I'll bring that back in as well, because don't forget about that. Love to give things away. Okay, so thanks very much. Yes, run off and have a play, everybody. There's plenty of time before lunch to go and let them play and let them dry, and then come back and make them after lunch. So there's the plan for you. So awesome. Okay, we will see you next week at the same time, and we'll come up with another technique. It's a technique that I want to show you, so I'll have a bit of a play around with it. Okay, thanks so much for joining me again. See you, everyone.